A blessed day to you, all my Sports to the Bone family. Thank you all for tuning in and giving a listening ear. The love and the support is very much appreciated. Couple of things to look at in this one. So, since the last couple of weeks, the future of Test cricket is a conversation that has intensified. Quite a few people giving their opinions as it relates to what can be done to keep players attracted to the format. Now, former West Indies captain Jason Holder is the latest to give a few solutions to what he thinks is a big problem. You understand? So, he also made it clear that he will be returning to West Indies Test team, and Test cricket is still his favorite format. So, we're going to go through that interview. We also see where West Indies CEO Johnny Grave did an interview, and he was talking about cricket in general, spoke about the state of cricket in the Caribbean and some of the challenges that we're actually facing as a team. So, I'm going to go through these two interviews here. So, just give a listening ear and let me know what you all think in the comment section. So, Jason Holder, my viewers and subscribers, who is currently playing in the ILT20 for the Dubai Capitals. He recently spoke to the media and they were talking about the West Indies team and the fact that, quite a few guys that were expected to be in the Test team, they did make the trip. Himself, Kyle Mayers, a couple of other guys that were invited didn't take up the offer. So Jason Holder was talking about why he didn't go and what can be done to make sure that players stay dedicated, or players are forced. Well, not even forced, but players would want to play Test cricket. So this is Jason Holder here, and I quote, "It's just unfortunate, I guess, when he was asked about players not going. But it doesn't mean I am turning my back on Test cricket. That is still my favorite format, and I definitely will be available going forward. But for me, I just wanted to make sure that I'm giving myself the best chance to prepare myself for the T20 World Cup," end quote. So there we have Jason Holder once again letting it be known that, listen, I am not finished with Test cricket. I just wanted to make sure that I am giving myself the best opportunity to get ready for the upcoming World Cup. Right? Holder went on to say, honestly, if we continue in this manner, Test cricket will die. It's sad, but it's true. Based on the current structure, you have got the big three who practically command all the revenue regarding disbursement of ICC funds. And it's difficult for smaller territories such as West Indies to compete. We just don't have the financial resources that they do, end quote. That is something that we have discussed on here quite a few times. And even in the other story that I'm going to touch on, with Johnny Grave, you would notice that he was speaking about the same thing. You understand? Holder went on to say, the only way you can honestly see Test cricket being saved is if you have a window for Test cricket in a year so that you can have your best players available to play there. And on top of that, you need to compensate players fairly. If we could come up with a model where you can have a minimum wage, where you can't fall below a particular threshold, that would be good, end quote. Right? So Jason, all I say, my viewers and subscribers, if ICC, who is the governing body, would come up with something to say, listen, this is the minimum wage here, you can't go below that, then you probably would see players giving more thought to playing Test cricket. And that sound reasonable. But another thing we have to understand is that when you even look at that means that they would still have to play more cricket, because players going to be looking and they're like, this team is still playing 14, 15 tests for the year and we are playing 6. So that still don't make any sense. We're going to go out there and hunt it. But I can understand what Jason Wola is saying, my people. But through all of that, it's good to hear him saying that, he will definitely return after the World Cup, I am assuming. Right? He's just getting himself prepared for the World Cup. Now, a question was raised on the last live show that we did, and I am raising it back again here. After this, will Jason Hola and a couple of the other guys be automatic selection once again? Or, say for argument's sake, well, we are talking about Jason Hola now. So let us look at Justin Greaves. What if he goes on and gives us a good performance in in the second test? How would we work that out? Because the problem is these guys don't have a lot of games to play. So when they play one game, if they do good, you have to keep them around and hope that if you give them a chance again, they repeat it. But when you look at a man like a Jason Hola who has been there for a while, and he's saying that he's still in love with the game and it's still his favorite format. If he wants to return, how do we go about dealing with that? But he raised some valuable points here, my viewers and subscribers. Let me know what you all think in the comment section and what Jason Hola had to say. Now, talking about Test cricket, the West Indies CEO, Johnny Grave, he was speaking on Sky Sports. He was actually speaking to Nasser Hussain and Michael Arthurton. And he was talking about the state of our cricket and the plan to really take it forward. So the first thing, he was making it clear that, listen, we are very committed to Test cricket, and it's still a format that we love, and it's a format that they are not giving up on, right? So he's going out straight with that to let it be known that even though some of the top players didn't, quote unquote top players, didn't go to Australia, it's not that they are giving up on the format because they cannot because they cannot get some other players. It's just a case of them having to try and balance things out, knowing that they cannot compete with what the players are actually making out there. So he's saying that they want the world to know that Test cricket is still alive and well where CWI mindset, is concerned. So he also spoke about the teams, saying that teams, some of the teams start with a plus, but they start with a minus. He's talking about a team like Australia, England, and some of these teams when they're having tests. When they're having home tests, you have the media. They are putting up all the funds. They are covering it. They are covering the expense of everything that is needed. But when you look at West Indies, he was saying that they are looking at a $5 million US a year for media coverage and all of that when they have cricket going on. And he's saying that is what it cost them without the first ball being bowled. You understand? They would try to recoup some of that during the game from tickets or whatever, but they're always working like that. So yeah, I tell my viewers and subscribers, it was a very interesting interview there. It was saying that ICC needs to find a way to regulate the T20 leagues. As a matter of fact, he spoke about a piece that they wrote and presented to ICC a few years back, saying that the T20 leagues are getting out of control, they are getting out of hand. So they need to find a way to regulate it because teams will not be able to compete with what the players are going to make playing in these franchise leagues. So I tell my people, it's really tough. He was saying that the passion is still there in the Caribbean, though people still want to play cricket. The passion is still there, like back in the days when they had the Walsh and the Ambers and all of these guys that were welcoming Australia, England, and all of the other teams in the Caribbean with some hostile bowling and some classic batting. He's saying that the passion is still there. It's just that you find that because they are not playing a lot of Test cricket and the revenue is not equally or properly distributed, they have to be pulling some funds from what they would have put into the development programs. They have to be pulling some of that to be helping out, when they're hosting games and stuff like that. So Very interesting, my people. Very interesting. You guys can check it out on the Sky Sports, on the Sky Sport YouTube channel. Very good interview there. You will get an insight of how things are running on the business side where West Indies cricket is concerned. But we're going to leave this one right here for now, my people. We will definitely have a talk again later on today. Until then, big up on yourself.